That was a pretty neat video there.
Yeah, we got that.
From Warren.
Looks like Warren.
Yeah.
Yep, Warren.
So that would have been Brandon from my team was down there. So getting that. Welcome, everybody, to the Down and Dirty podcast with the Badger State Prollers. My name is Jason Schultz. That's John Stranley, the beautiful voice. Notice I didn't say beautiful face. I said beautiful voice of the Badger State Tractor Pullers with our Super Modified Tool Drive champs from 2023. Kurt, Kyle, Terry, please introduce yourselves and tell us your favorite color. I got to go let my dog in because he's barking, okay?
I'll go first. Kurt, I'd have to go with orange. Good color to choose.
Well,
Terry?
I guess my favorite color is probably white. I'm Kyle. I'm probably pretty partial to orange as well.
Makes
So
sense.
there.
Makes sense.
Here you go, Jason. Now you got the colors of the truck.
Well, that's what I was trying to do a little bit, trying to get a little back history on it. Bill Mercer's watching on Facebook from San Angelo, Texas. Welcome, Bill. So, well, guys, Badger State Point Championships. How many is this now, Terry, for the team, for you guys over the years?
I think this is the fifth one.
Okay.
Yep.
It's been. Who's better driver, you or your brother Wayne?
Oh, probably Wayne.
Are you just saying that because you feel sorry for him, or do you like genuinely mean that? So,
Yeah, he's pretty good at it too. Yeah.
Well, Timmermans and two-wheel drives is synonymous together. They just go hand in hand. And then not only that, in Wisconsin, as we get a Timmerman sweep this year in the Badger State with Wayne winning and you guys winning here. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it worked out well for us.
I was watching this video here. Did you guys notice how much that truck set in right away when it takes off?
Yeah, there's a couple good points on that. Sounds like it got knocked to it too a little bit. Must be the camera, we're hoping.
no, I think that was just the sled, actually, the box going back at the end.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why, because that box really shakes that sled as it's backing up with the chains. I was thinking the same thing too. I'm like, uh-oh, but And I recognize that sound. So
Yeah, we had a lot of compliments on that video. It's pretty cool.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. Cool.
And I love the Timmerman Motorsports, which is also your Facebook page right across the top of that. So if you're just joining us, we're live Down and Dirty podcast with the Badger State Tractor Pullers every Monday night. We have our super modified two-wheel drive truck champions with us, the Timmerman family, Kyle, Kurt, and Terry. Terry's the dad, obviously in the middle. He's the old guy. It's clear to see on there, the screen there. If you have any questions for Terry or Kurt or Kyle, please type them in. If you enjoy watching their truck, anything fun like that, it's really fun to engage with our audience on the podcast. Terry, what is the pulling history? I mean, the Timmerman name is well known for pulling. We all know that. What's your personal history with pulling? Like, did you start with your dad, or just tell us how this all started? Take us all the way back to the beginning.
Well, it actually started in Dickeyville in 1972. The JCs had a garden tractor pull. So I talked my dad into bringing our Massey Ferguson 12-horse garden tractor up to pull. And somehow or other, we got third place out of that. And the following year, a group of guys kind of got together and we started building mini rods back in the day. And started with a V6 Buick out of the junkyard, chain drive, channel iron frame, and manure spreader tires, and away we went.
1972?
Yeah.
So that's been 51 years, Terry, you've been pulling. How much money do you think you've spent in that? No, is your wife watching this, Terry?
Yeah, she's here.
She's covering her mouth right now. She ain't happy about that one.
I was just gonna
keep track of that, Jason.
Yeah, I spent about $50 probably. No, I'm just joking. We all know. All of our wives know how silly we are with all this stuff, but it's kind of fun to think about that. 51 years of pulling. That's awesome, Terry. That is awesome. Russ Dosso's watching in from Pierce, Nebraska. Again, we got the Timmerman family with us. Kyle's on the right as you look at the screen. Kurt's on the left, and then their father, Terry's in the middle there. Okay, so 72, we got the junkyards. We got the 76. Kind of, when did we start stepping it up, and when did we – I remember watching you guys with Tri-State, right? That would have been that's when I really got to know your family. Kind of take us all the way through to now, and I'll try to be quiet for like a minute and let you talk. So.
Well, the mini rods kept progressing until 1988, I think. We had a blown big block, aluminum block mini rod. We pulled with WTPA, ITPA. We had a lot of success with that. My brothers Wayne Dale and I, and my friend John Keepers, we had two of them between the four of us. And then I think it was in 88 that we sold the mini rods and bought a two-wheel drive truck from Steve Reynolds. It was an El Camino called Showdown. And we ran that for a few years. And then I started business and family, and we quit pulling until probably 2004.
Okay.
Wayne really never quit. He quit about a year, and then he pulled with Tri-State and Fantasy, and in 04 we got back into it and pulled with them until
2009, I think. That's when we built the new one.
Winter of 2009.
when we stepped up to this level. So
yeah. Terry, have you sold some items that are still out running today that the fans might recognize? Is anybody running any of your old trucks or bodies or anything?
Well,
when you sold the Ford body, that went to
Dale Nelson in Illinois has our old Ford body.
Yeah.
The chassis went to Kilmeyer's, but I don't think they're running that anymore. The original truck that we bought and ran with Fantasy and Tri-State, that went to Ohio. And the mini rods are the Swing Boys from Illinois. I don't know, John, you might remember them, the Swing Boys?
Remember hearing about them, yeah.
Yeah, they had Wayne and Dale's mini rod. Mine went to around Chicago. It was called Mac Attack, the mini rod was. So, yeah.
1-year-old gearboxes still floating around in the Fox Valley area, though.
Yeah, I just seen one advertised. Wayne and Dale come up with that and made that on their own, these gearboxes for the mini rods. And yeah, they sold a few of those, and we used them in our own. So yeah, that's pretty neat.
That's cool how you guys, your families come up with that technology and pulling, and it's still some of it rolling on today. And it's not much different, really. That gearbox isn't much different than the Boltman boxes that were running, the TRB boxes, really. Not much different at all.
Yeah, they are. The concept's pretty similar. And, that's back in that was back in the 80s that they came up with that and manufactured on their own. So it was a pretty good deal. Yeah.
Out of all the times pulling with two-wheel drives, what's probably one of the most memorable hooks for you, Terry?
Well, I guess probably this year watching Kurt win Toma. It's got to be a highlight of our career, I would say. Yeah.
That's a tough road to hoe there. How many were in the class? 50, 52?
I think this year there was, what, 42, 43, something like that?
I think 43, Terry. I got that video. We had posted that on Beer Money. I'll go find that. This is you guys in Unionville. I'm just flipping through while John's talking to you, just sharing some runs. So who was driving here, guys?
What kind of chassis you guys are running now?
It's a modern chassis from Brad.
Is this one? How old is this one?
And then we have a Chester new motor.
Oh, okay.
Well, that chassis was built in 18, I think, right?
Yeah. We started with we bought a chassis from Jordan Nelson. It was an Engler chassis in 09, and we ran that until I believe maybe about 16, and then we bought a modern chassis. Yep.
Working out pretty nice by the way it looks. And then the other body, you had a different body on this one. This body's what, 2 years old now?
This is a 19 body, and we put it on in 19. So,
wow, where's that time go? Way off.
it's tough to remember all that stuff.
Yeah. What made you guys decide to change up? Just want a different look, or did you need more room, or what was it?
We just kind of wanted to change it up a little bit. I don't know. We always had that both when we were at Tri-State and everything, we had Ford body on that. And then we moved up and bought that body from Stan Shelton and had a local guy custom painted it. And we liked it a lot, but I don't know. This is just a little lighter, a little more compact, I guess. And ever since we changed, been doing a little better. So we don't know what the heck happened, but we'll keep that body on there.
The orange. It's a shade of orange.
Yeah.
So how about you, Kurt? Where's one of your most memorable runs at then, other than Toma?
Oh, I don't know. They're all, heck, I wasn't even at it probably. One of my most memorable ones, I wasn't even there. Kyle was driving, I was out to work. I was out and working for building power lines, and when Kyle took 2 seconds in Hillsboro last 2 years ago now, that was pretty neat there. I'd have to say. It wasn't even me driving, but I still gotta say that's still one of the best when you can go to a group like that with Badger State and then all the PPL boys, and you pull second out and come back the next night and back it up again. That means you're doing something right.
Absolutely. Tough crowd to run with. I remember seeing you guys afterwards on Saturday night over there, chatting with you.
Yeah.
So, Kyle's, what is one of your favorite pulling tracks to pull on? We talk about pulls and we like going to this pull or that pull. What's one of your favorites?
I seem to do pretty well in Warren, so that one I'd say I'm pretty partial to. I don't know why, but it works well for us. But that one I usually have a pretty good ride on, it seems like. So
The good luck aura going on?
yeah, that, or I just get the luck to drive there or whatever. We just take turns, so it isn't like there's no rhyme or reason why anybody gets to drive. So
Is that what you guys do? Just flip a coin, see who's driving?
it's just whoever gets to drive. If I drive tonight, Kurt will drive the next night, and as long as one of us are there, we'll just keep taking turns. And then if we can't be there, then Dad gets to drive. So that's how it works for us, and it works well.
You know, it's funny that you say that. You know, there's 3 drivers and they have success that you guys do, and there's not that many people that swap seats like that. And then, like Brian, my buddy, and I, we have the mini rod together. We do that too every other time. So it's hard to be consistent against your competition when they're the same person in the seat all the time. But it also shows the kind of talent you 3 have.
I think some of that goes back to, you know, we've been running this for how long now, you know, and just every week we come back and no matter what, we critique each other, and we all try to pretty much make the same routine so that everyone's pretty much on the same baseline when they're driving, and try to keep us all the same.
Well, Terry, it's got to be a lot of pride for you. You know, the boys growing up into pulling, and they still enjoy it, and you get to watch them drive the truck. That's got to be pretty enjoyable for you. I know when my son runs, I'd probably much rather do that than anything. It's just one of the things you don't know until you're a dad and you get to see that. You really got to enjoy that.
Yeah, I can honestly say I probably enjoy watching them run it more than me sitting in the seat anymore. It seems to work better. I have time to check this out, or, you know, look at the track a little bit, watch some stuff go before us. And, you know, if we can come up with a better plan, we try to, you know, and it's just enjoyable just to watch them go. And it's definitely a family thing, you know, with Kurt and Kyle and their wives go and their family go. And our daughter Nikki is married to AJ Riedel, and, you know, they've been pulling for a long time too. The last couple of years, they just took over the business, so they haven't had time to do much pulling anymore. So it's definitely a family thing for us, and it works great. So
did you have a setup where you told her it's only a 2-wheel drive puller or mini rod puller? You can't go to this tractor pulling guys. This is your spectrum here. Pick one of them.
John, you think this is some country like I'll give you my daughter, but I need 2 goats and what is it when you get the package, the lockbox, or what do they call it? Arranged marriages, Terry.
Yeah, range.
yeah, it's pretty crazy how that all works out. It's like,
You never would have thought that would have happened that way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it though, because, you know, we go to these polls, we grow up with these families and their kids grow up with their kids. Terry, you've seen it. And, you know, the more pullers we talk to, the more it's fun to kind of see the relationships that are formed, you know, from young to old. And it's neat. It's really neat.
And he's only 10 miles away, so for Dubuque to us, so it's close to.
Yeah. He's got the dry shaft business, the shafted truck. So,
yep.
Has he had it out at all this year?
no, they didn't get out at all this year with the business, and the kids are in sports, and it's just, you know, sometimes you just got to back off for a while and, you know, let things calm down. And when you're ready to come back, they'll come back.
Oh, yeah. So, Minor Brothers Motor, Kester's are helping you out. How long you guys been working with that program?
Oh, ever since we moved up to this level, I guess. I bought the motor out of Larry Kester's mini rod back in
2010.
9 or 10, yeah. When we moved up, and we just been upgrading ever since then. So
It's about the 8th or 10th different blower on it, I'm sure.
Still the original one. Jane's still listening.
Oh. Who else would you guys like to thank that help you out along the way? I mean, there's other people that do stuff. I mean, you got to, you know, tires and so on and so forth. There's got to be a list of people or even sponsors that kind of help you out, or friends or whatever. Who would they be like to thank?
Our major sponsors, Terry and Jane, got to put a big spot in for them. K3 Tires, they do all of our cutting unless Dad, he does a lot of touching up through the week, and unless we mangle them up too bad, then we got to send them off. But between them and Modern and Adam, and a lot of that stuff is done in house too. I mean, Dad and Wayne, and they tear down and put them all back together. So unless we mangle it up too bad, then we have to send something out. But for the most part, a lot of stuff's done in house.
Are you guys as hard on tires as mini rod pullers are? What's the significance there?
No, not nearly as hard as mini rods. For the most part, we can get by a few runs before we gotta touch them up or anything like that. But mini rod guys, they're just tough on tires in general.
Yeah,
They also run a 10-ply tire, which is a lot thicker and heavier than the mini, so there's a little more rubber on there. They stay a little more stable. I guess they're kind of probably a little bit harder, I think, than what the mini rod tires are. But see, Ed Evercamp is on there. Hey, Ed, I know Ed. He says the Timmerman Motorsports guys are a great group.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's always supporting us. We appreciate that.
Ed's a good guy. I see him quite a bit in the summer garden tractor pulling with Ross, and then he's over to Platteville Dairy Days when we're over there too. So
I think Ed said he chose us to win in Toma. I think he won something off full
On
pull.
full pull. Yeah, on the full pull app, he won some money.
We appreciate that a lot.
He does too. He appreciates you guys winning. So I'm looking for that video right now. I know we posted it on Beer Money, but we post way too many videos, so I'm looking for it right now. When you go through June and July, it's like literally 1,000 videos. So
Yeah, it gets that way on Facebook.
yeah, we're crazy like that. So
That's
it's
good.
just
Good for the sport.
try it.
yeah, it's amazing. Like at the end of that run, how much dirt you guys are moving at the end of that run. To see that come up off the buckboard and onto the truck like that, that's just amazing. Gearing wise, over the years, how things have kind of changed. Where it seems like more of the 2-wheel drives are running more RPM than what they used to. Are you guys running them a little bit harder, a little bit more on the top end of the old RPM than what you did, say, 10 years ago?
Well, the motors have definitely gotten better over the years. We're making a lot more horsepower than we did 3 years ago, So, yeah, it's amazing how things have progressed, but it's you just got to keep trying stuff, and that's what works so good for us is, my brother Wayne and my brother Dale, we're all trying different stuff, and that's how you learn. You got to just venture out and try something, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but between the three of us, we have a pretty good group there. And without Wayne does all of our motor work for us. So, he's definitely the kingpin of this organization here.
Yeah.
So
You have to, though, as times change, just like you said, and like 42 of the best that were in Toma, and probably almost about the same number, 30 of them are better in Hillsboro that you guys run against, and you can go make hay with the rest of them guys. It means you're doing something and doing your homework.
It's a good feeling, anyways. Yeah, pulling against Willie and Woody and Beaner and everybody else in Badger State. They're a tough competition too, But it's nice to be able to go with some other guys and try and pull against them and just see how you compare. But all the Badger State guys we pull with too, they're just as competitive as the big guys, really.
Yeah, we got our butts kicked from them enough this year too. It's just what do we have for wins? It was only 4 wins, I think, out of 9 events this year. So, I mean, it's just consistency on getting there is how we got there.
And that's what you gotta have for points championships is, when the dust settles, being in the top 3 or top 4 and, staying close in that range. Like you said, you don't have to win them all. In fact, I think Mike Meyer, I don't think won a poll or had 1 win out of the hot farms and won the points. It's just, like you said, being consistent where you're not first tonight, last next weekend, third, second to last. It's just being right there. And that's hard. That's harder being consistent week in and week out than anything, because every track is different. Every time you hook is different. Your hook order is different. So that's the toughest part about it.
And that's even the tough thing with like our class. I mean, every class in Badger State's tough competition, but we're a little bit smaller of a class, so to try to get more people in there to change up your numbers to get ahead, you really got to be consistent, and that's a challenge because everybody's good.
I'm glad this class has come about, you know, to help change things up and get a little bit of noise in the group as well. And it's always fun watching all you guys there. And like you said, everybody that's in the class is top notch. What keeps bringing you guys back to Badger State?
Main thing that brings us to Badger State is just the fact that it's local for us. We're able to have my brother and my dad and I, we can all be able to make us go to that. We don't have to travel real far. I think most of our hooks are all within about 2 hours. So no matter what, even if somebody's got to leave late, somebody can drive up later or not, we can all be there. And it's all a big family thing for us. So that's the main part of it. And that's why we really enjoy Badger State, is that it's local. And there's good competition that we can go and pull at and be able to pull with these guys. But yeah, Macville is probably the farthest we go, and that's 3 hours or something like that. So
Yeah, a little bit of a ride. Yeah, you're pretty much corner to corner almost of the state for that one. But yeah, well, it's always fun watching you guys, and you know, even afterwards coming back in the pits and your whole class. You know that one of the greatest things I've always seen with Badger State, no matter what class it is everybody is willing to help somebody out. You know, one way or another. If you had a mag and someone had a mag go bad, same rotation, take it. You know, or blower belt, we got one, or you know, line or nozzle or main jet or whatever. You know, it's great to see that.
No, that or anybody had an issue or somebody seen something happen on somebody's run, you know, you help them out and say, hey, you know, this happened or that happened. Maybe we, you know, try to help each other out.
So here's a question that we kind of stole from the other guys there. And so this is for the three of you, and I don't know who wants to go first, but if you had the opportunity to drive something else, whether it be another pulling truck or tractor or whatever it is, with no questions asked, what would it be and where would it be? Tough one.
Let's go first.
go ahead. Well, I guess I would probably pick Tim Engler's Mission Impossible tractor to run. I mean, he was a legend. He was a great guy, just an all around great person. And the tractor was beautiful. It was just awesome to watch. So I would probably pick that, and I'd probably have to pick that at Toma.
How about you, Kurt?
Oh, I'd probably have to say Chuck Knapp's and probably in Toma. That's
Kyle? Now we're going to see Kyle go off the rails here. Here we go.
No, I'm pretty much torn. It'd be between any mod or a mini rod. If you could put me in a top mini rod, that'd be pretty fun too. But you know, a 5-engine mod, that sounds pretty fun, and I really wouldn't care which one it is, to be honest. It wouldn't matter to me.
But the key thing in that is I don't want to work on it.
That seems to be the common theme whenever we talk about that. So.
I give those guys a lot of credit.
Terry, over the years, events that have had some staying power, and I finally that's why I was shutting up. I was looking for the video from Toma, and I finally found it. We'll play that here in just a few seconds. Your winning pass. From a promoter perspective, Terry, events that you've seen stick around over the years, what have they done consistently year after year that you feel has, you know, grown their crowd or allowed them, you know, to basically stay in business, if you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, I don't know. I think, you know, how they market the pulls nowadays. You know, take, for example, Macville. I mean, that is just an awesome place to go pull.
Yep.
They fill the stands, and the people come over before and after the pull, and you interact with them, and they ask you for shirts. And, it just, they want to take a picture by your truck or let them sit in the truck, and take their pictures or whatever. I just think being more interactive probably helps everybody, it helps the pullers to appreciate the fans a little bit more probably. And yeah, for some reason out of the backfield just sticks out in my mind that, the people are just really interested there. They want to come and they want to talk to you. They want to see things, so it's pretty cool.
They're very interactive up there. It's fun.
Kurt or Kyle, one of you kept saying the big guys. I go to a lot of truck and tractor pulls just like you guys. I feel like two-wheel drive is easily, by far, whether it's state level, like a Badger State or a region, compared to like a Champions Tour or or an Outlaw or an NTPA Grand National. I feel like I don't see any big jumps. Like if I see a Grand National Super Farm, they typically pound on a regional, national super farm. But I feel like the two-wheel drive truck class is so competitive at the national level, whether you pull state or national. Like you touched on it, guys. You pull Badger State because it's close to home. I mean, it's a great association. Don't get me wrong. But you guys could go out. You showed that this year, and here's a video queued up on the screen of your winning run at Toma. Are there any other classes that you think are as competitive? But I just feel like that two-wheel drive truck class, no matter where you are, top to bottom, I just feel like it's stacked. I really, really do. So
I would have to agree with that. I don't know of any other class off the top of my head anyways that's that close in competition between the, let's say, different levels. But, like for all the Badger State trucks to go up to Hillsboro and pull against them guys, I mean, Woody and Willie, they're both just as good as we are and everybody else. That it's like everybody's got all the stuff to do it to get there. It's just you got to get your setup right and make a good pass and hope for the best, really.
yeah, no, I agree 1,000,000%.
I think some of that, the rules in this class have been the same across the country basically for however long, that everybody pretty much has the best of the best, and then it comes down to setup and driver and some of that stuff. That's a tough thing anymore because everybody's got the best of everything.
Yeah, there's no secret anymore I feel like there was a time, and Terry could probably touch on it more, probably the 80s, 90s, there was a little more trial and error, try some stuff and not tell anybody. But now, I mean, you call Kester or you call Corporal or whatever, you can get the good stuff if you can write the check on that. You still got to drive it, you still got to set it up, and obviously that separates the the winners from the not the winners. But it's still still tough. It's still tough at all levels to compete and be be out there. So Don Spore says Macville does a good job, and he's in that neck of the woods. Yeah, Don. I think Don lives in Neenah, Wisconsin. He watches every Monday night. We appreciate Don doing that. I think one thing that makes Macville special is just that I think if they hit 50 years yet, Terry, I feel like they're getting close if they haven't.
Yeah, I think they have. I'm not certain this year what they said. John, you might remember how many years they've been at it now.
I don't. Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's one of them. I mean, it kind of, unfortunately, it kind of gets left out. Like we talk Wisconsin, we say Toma, Hillsboro. Those seem to be the two. But I mean, Macville is nothing to sneeze at all. I mean, they have 4 nights of pulling now, and that church and that school is still going because of that tractor pull, guys. And that's that's the hardest part. Like in Richland Center here, we burn out our volunteers and we got rained out every freaking year. But I mean, that's the hardest part to happen to that. Terry, you saw that for a couple of years in Dickeyville. I forget the gentleman's name that was promoting down there, and that's your hometown pull. It's hard. It's hard to get up because you don't just get 2 or 3 people. It takes a couple hundred people to do these things and volunteers. So
yeah, you're right. It takes a lot of people and a lot of commitment. And I give these people a lot of credit that can do this promoting and put these pulls on because it's a big job.
It is. It really, really is. So let's talk about the Toma Pass here a little bit. What are we thinking sitting here at the starting line before I hit the play button? What's going through our head?
Mm-hmm.
Do well.
Yeah. Hope we get it set up right in the right gear and the right weights.
Okay, well, let's watch the winning pass at Toma.
got that foreshadowing done pretty much.
Yeah, that's going to be your leader right there. I don't have a leader, so just tell you that.
That was a nice pass. The front wheels never touched. I mean, they're up and down a little bit, bobbing. So we're like a perfect, like, where do you guys like, if you could say, if you could tell a robot to set it, you went 2 feet off the ground, 3 feet off the ground. Where does your truck run the best, guys?
Probably about a foot off the ground.
Yeah.
If you can carry it, yeah. Yeah. I know when after Kurt made that pass, you know, we're sitting there watching the rest of the trucks come, and we were about 3/4 of the way through the class, and there's some, as always, they're all good, but there were some really good ones left to go, and we're like, well, we took the lead. Well, at least there's like 12 to go. We should be in the top 10, and then there's a few more. We'll be maybe the top 5, and then it's like, holy smoly, you know.
There's a shot.
Yeah, we got a shot at
It's
this.
small, but there's a window.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just, something I never ever dreamt we would ever accomplish.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome. Huge.
The hot and nasty. How did the name come about?
That's been around for a long time. That goes back. A buddy of mine, John Keepers, and I built a mini rod together, probably back in 1983, and what we're gonna name it, we didn't know. So we went to the drag races down in Byron, Illinois, and there was a Camaro down there that had Hot and Nasty on it. We looked at one another, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's call it that. So it stuck, and it's still around.
Yeah, it came back, I guess. Originally, when Dad got back into it with his business that he owned was a fuel oil business, so we called it Driller. Just kind of went hand in hand, we thought.
Yeah,
And
I
then
remember that.
when we jumped up, he had sold that business, or semi-retired, I guess you'd call it. And it was like, well, we should probably find a different name. And that's what come about, I guess, for some reason.
Meant to be.
Yeah. And that's
That's
kind of how Dale and Chad come about their name, I guess, was the old Showdown truck, and that's how they came about their name.
How about Wayne's? Is there a story behind Wayne's too?
You know, I don't know if there really is or not. I think he bought that when we all sold out from the El Camino. He was out for maybe 2 years, and then he bought a chassis and a body from Roger Simon, and it was called Showtime, I believe. So he just kept the name.
That's the cool part about it. And, you know, the nice part about this, you know, and seeing you guys, and thanks again for coming on, is the fans get to see, you know, who sits behind the wheel, who's that person in the, you know, driver's seat, and what do you guys, you know, do. And, but then the names, you know, there's always a good story of how the name has come about, or tradition one way or another. And what do you guys do, you know, as the family, other than truck pulling? You know, what do you guys do for work, or what else do you guys enjoy to do with your families?
I was a lineman for the last 13 years, and then a little over a year ago, Dad was driving a truck, fuel tanker, and he wanted to retire, and I wanted to get home a little bit more, so I bought him out. So I've been doing that, and I enjoy it. Kyle's been machining for the last 20 years.
Long time or whatever. Yeah, I work at a local machine shop. I manage the machine shop at a town where we build bicycle racks locally, and I manage the machine shop for that. But in the off time, especially in the winter, Dad got us back ice fishing. He took us when we were younger, and then we quit for quite a while, but now we enjoy it again. Dad still fishes when he ain't pulling. Basically, he tries to get fishing. But other than that, we also enjoy hunting a lot. We're fortunate Dad's got a farm not too far away. We can go deer hunting, and we spend a lot of time there too as well. So it's kind of that's what we do, I guess.
That's
I
fun.
love it. 2009 is when you made the jump, Terry. You said earlier, right, from Tri-State up to the national rules, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Ed Evercamp was asking. Ed, if you'd watch the whole show, you'd know these answers. Just saying. I mean, 7:00 every Monday night for the last year, but that's okay. I'm just picking on Ed. Ed's a friend of mine. It's all good. So
Yeah, when Ed said that, he texted somebody of us that he had won, he bet on us winning, and he won, and I'm like, boy, Ed, you're an idiot. I would have never bet on us, but
because I was working earlier.
So he was working. Yeah, Jason, take that.
Yeah, I was too, sort of, kind of. So.
But I'd still say, a lot of our 90%, a lot of our pulling's with Badger State, and that's still the best we can do. It's the best community around to pull with. Everybody part of that organization is just great. It don't matter what class, you can talk to anybody. Everybody gets along. There's not a bunch of drama. That's the best part of it all.
It's fun to see it grow, and it's fun to see all you guys. You go to the banquet, and the cool part about the banquet is it's one place that all the pullers can get together. You don't have to worry about making it to the scales or doing this or doing that. But the conversations you get to have with your competitors and friends, and it just grows every year. And to see like all you two-wheel drive, I don't think, in every class that we have at Badger State, I think everybody's there. There's rarely anybody that ever misses the banquet. And it's fun to see, everybody enjoying the evening.
Yeah, and that's special too, just to get everybody together, one big hoorah, and get everybody together and have a big party.
Well, other than Jason, he misses some,
Sorry. So I do what I can.
Yeah, that's the reason why we started wearing different coats. It's because of Jason.
Really? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're trying to keep up with you, but it's hard to do.
Stop.
The cool factor. The
Well, he's a
cool.
high caliber now. You'd have to make another class just for him to pull at Badger State.
I know it.
Stop.
Yep.
Stop. I'm just chasing it. Whoever wants me, whoever pay me, that's where I'm going. It's easy. I can be bought. So
See that, guys? You're witnessing it here tonight.
everybody knows that. So NC Matt's watching on YouTube. Timmermans, Kurt, Kyle, Terry. How long does a motor like that hold up? Once, or is it a one-hit wonder?
Well, don't.
Yeah. But on average, what's the maintenance program?
You never know. It's, take this year, for instance, a couple runs and then drop a valve and you got a set of heads gone and then put a new set of heads on and you finish the year out. So, or it could be a year, 2 years, you don't know.
every winter refreshing them, put new rods, new pistons, bearings and stuff in them. So, yeah, if you can make the season, that's great. Yeah. Doesn't always happen that way.
Depends how lean they go.
For the most part, we're pretty conservative on everything.
Yeah.
You can't go and have fun if it's blown up sitting in the shop. So
Yeah.
it's better just to let it run and go again another day.
Yeah. Moose's tractor pulling videos asked, why'd you switch from Ford to Chevy body? We kind of touched that earlier, but we can tell them again.
I don't know if that was just the body we liked at the time, pretty much.
We're not much of Ford people.
There's all Chevys around the shop, so
Oh, is it?
they don't stick around long. So
Funny part about is some of the guys that pull the international tractor and you go to the farm and it's all John Deere. I think Dustin Hook was like that for quite some time, and now he's got. But yeah, that's something. Wasn't there a couple other comments that were on there, Jason, from a couple other people that?
I thought I hit them all. Somebody asked why there's duct tape on the front, but Terry and I have already had that conversation. I'm not bringing that up again tonight. I'll get my ass chewed again. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I got all of them.
A little mishap down in Iowa. We decided to let Dad go pulling one weekend, and he just, I don't know, it just didn't work. And
I just wanted to prove to your dad tonight that I actually post good when good things happen too. I wanted to share the Toma video. So all good.
It's all okay.
Yeah.
no, I'm just teasing. Shit, it's all good. When I blew up my tractor in Wisner that night, I watched about $100,000 go out the stack. The first thing I thought of was, we gotta get this video up. It's gonna go viral. I want to try to make some money on it. I didn't make $100,000 on it, guys. So I made like $300. So I tried though. I really did. But Hart yelled at me because it split the pump, the P pump right down the side. Brandon gave me some shit about that, and I was like, sorry. It is what it is. I wasn't picking on you. You just happened.
For a while we could have used the duct tape sponsorship. That held it together for a few weeks.
Yep. No, you're I've always worried about that with the fiberglass bodies, because you guys get that rock, because those just sit down, right? Like they don't latch, they just come down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just sit in a couple pockets, and I don't know what happened that night, but it just wouldn't settle down. It just was bouncing severely, and all of a sudden I stopped, and half of the hood is laying on the track, and I'm thinking, what the heck just happened here? And but we were the first hook, and I said to the official, I said, so can I come back and pull last? Because and he looked at me and he's like, well, yeah. And I think he was thinking I was pulling his leg, that I wasn't going to come back. And so we towed it back into the pits, and that happened to be, we were at an outlaw pull, and it was just Jane and I was there. And we towed it back and got the duct tape out and taped her back together, and we came back and pulled last again. So
love it. Justin Post has a two-wheeler. I recognize his name, but I don't recognize his truck. We'd like to hit a few Badger hooks with you next year. Justin, where's he pull at? You guys recognize his name?
I'm not sure. We're welcome to anybody though.
You bet. We need trucks.
Hell yeah. Terry, you really, and the deputies got the two-wheel drive truck class going with Badger State. I was on the board when this came on. I remember you guys coming, and thank you for that, because as a promoter, sit at that fair convention, and a lot of great smoker classes, but fans love noise, and they love the two-wheel drive trucks. All the trucks look amazing. They run hard, and it's really added a lot to the Badger State show. And then it's nice when John can bring some of the mini rods in as well. It's fun to mix it up a little bit, because personally, I like to see a little bit of everything, and that's what makes it fun. So thank you for really committing to it. Thank you for committing to it.
It was nice that Badger State, wanted us to come and join them. And, all the Badger State classes, the tractors are all first class, all very competitive. And same thing in the two-wheel drive trucks. I mean, they've got some really good trucks, to come and compete at their events that, they're all first class. So it makes a great class.
Yep. Yeah, North Carolina State Fair, we had about 12 two-wheel drive trucks this weekend. So NC Matt checking in on that. So guys, I need to wrap this up. We've been talking for an hour. This is awesome. I got to jump over, start Let's Grow Pulling here in a few minutes. Kurt, Kyle, Terry, see you guys at the banquet. Thank you for being great ambassadors of the sport and also the two-wheel drive truck class. Stranley, talk about our sponsors, and then let's let these guys go to bed. So
you congratulations, guys, on a well-earned points championship, first of all. And thanks for coming on with us tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Farm Street Toys, one of our great sponsors. Also, Casper Egg, Trip Downing, and Salama Enterprises helping us out with the Down and Dirty. We're here every Monday night at 7 o'clock. And those of you Badger State pullers that have tickets for Jack Spots, if you have any raffle tickets, he wants to get them collected up as soon as possible. So if you guys got raffle tickets, let's get them to Jack so we can get that taken care of. I do believe all our tickets are sold, so it's going to be another great year here at the banquet. So that's all I got. Thanks very much for hanging out with us, guys. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
You have a good evening.
You too. See you guys.